Bortle here at the Fort Worth Regional. My goodness, over 509 players, 9 rounds of Swiss. Oh, jeez. And we have here top 4 contestant right now. Yo, please introduce yourself to the world.
Hi, I'm Raul Machuca. I got top 4 at the Fort Worth Regional.
What deck, bro?
I was playing Despia.
Despia.
Yeah.
What made you decide to use this deck for the event?
I actually really love this deck. I've been playing it since it came out, so probably it's been a while. Just got used to how to play it. Pretty
Sweet. Before we start the deck profile, any shoutouts?
Yeah, shout out to you, man. You gave me this bracelet, and I swear, like I didn't lose a single round after I got it. Like, after,
really?
Yeah, you gave it to me after I lost my first round.
Oh, so you lost round 1?
Lost round 2 against Snake Eyes, pure Snake Eyes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, you won the rest of the rounds. Nice.
Yeah, man, I was on fire.
Sweet. Any more shout outs? You good?
Yeah, shout out to my boy Angel and all my boys in Houston. They've all been really great. Shout out to my boy Brian. He was talking a lot of smack, saying that I probably wasn't going to top.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Galaxy Gaming, that's my card shop. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Sweet. Without further ado, please show us the top 4 goo.
Yeah, I was playing 3 Allure. This is your main starter. You always want to see this. This normal summon gets you to Brand Infusion, gets you to the rest of your engine. Just gets everything going. We have 1 Quem. The Quem makes a lot of awkward hands really playable. You can send them a courier if you have a Bistio in your hand, and it still gets you to Brand Infusion access. We have a couple of other Despia monsters. Just put them all out here. We'll just put Cartesia in. We have Tragedy. These 2 guys are bricks, but sometimes it's really nice to have them in your hand. Usually just for discard fodder, or if you have a Brand Infusion and you just send it off your hand. Regardless, it still triggers their effects. So they're pretty good to have. Ad libitum gets you to multiple banishes with Mirror Jade, and Tragedy can get you another trap or spell from your graveyard and just reset it if you haven't used the effect that turn. The Cartesia, I only play 1. It gets you to your Dusk Dragon, which gets you to any level 6 or higher, light or dark, from your extra deck or your main deck to the graveyard. It constantly recycles itself if a fusion sent to the graveyard, so it's just constant discard fodder. It comes up a lot. The fusion summons definitely during the main phase as a quick effect help you dodge a lot of things like imperms or veilers, so it's really nice to have. We have 2 Fallen of Albaz. You need to play these for your Brand Infusions to resolve. I only play 2. I don't usually like seeing these, but when you do see them, they do come up. Usually if your opponent leaves an extra deck monster and they have no negate, you can take care of their board with just 1 Fallen of Albaz. We have 1 McCourier and 1 Albion the Shrouded. This is another negate that you can search off if you're lost once you conduct a fusion summon during your opponent's turn, or you can add it on your turn if you already have lost on the board. And then we have Albion. This gets you an extra draw. It's basically just an upstart. Gets you to any card from your main deck that's branded, that has branded in its name, and can also get you a Fallen of Albaz for some really awkward hands where you have Cartesia in your hand. So for the 2 Bistios, I play the Bistio Lubellion and 1 Serenir. You have to play Serenir. It just gets you to really playable hands out of almost nothing. So it definitely helps out. The Lubellion, this gets you to your lost access whenever you go for the Albion line from your extra deck. Then for the spells, we have 3 Branded Fusion and the 3 Opening. Opening just gets you to Branded Fusion or any Despia monster from your deck if you want to do something funny just use Branded in red and just use 2 monsters on field to trigger an ad libitum effect that you special summon off of this, or a Tragedy effect that you want to search with. But yeah, Branded Fusion, once this resolves, a lot of boards are being really easily broken, especially if they have no negates on board. We have the Lost. This stops a lot of disruptions from your opponent. It stops the Princess summon if you conduct your fusion summon first. So if fusion summon occurs, they can't chain Princess, they can't chain for any other matchups, they can't chain furniture pieces if they're playing Lab. So this stuff comes up a lot whenever you're taking care of a lot of boards. Usually a lot of matchups tend to use their Omni Negate on this card because they can't negate the Branded Fusion once this is on the board unless they have Ash. So for The other branded spell that I play branded in red. This helps you dodge a lot of things like your Imperm Veilers, Moonlit Chills, just a lot of random hand traps that people are putting in their deck. It's just, you know, they're probably the most common, so dodging the cards like that help your, you know, you continue playing, helps you push through a lot harder, and gets you to even a Chimera from your extra deck where you can like pop 2 cards or 1 card and draw an extra card if you need more gas. So this card is really, it's been really helpful. We have the 2 fusion deployment. This helps you extend if your branded fusion gets negated with an Ash Blossom. So this gets you access to Cartesia, or if needed, Fallen of Albaz. Just use your opponent's monsters as fusion material. We have 3 Super Poly. This card is crazy. It helps you break a lot of boards. You draw any Despia monster or a Fallen of Albaz, you're most likely breaking a lot of boards, and you have to find a way to, you know, follow up after that. But it's really nice to have, especially as a disruption. I had a lot, 2 Snake Eye players summon their 2 Snake Eye monsters. So before they tribute to get to Flamberg, you just activate this, go into Garura, and they have to find another way to extend with the rest of their hand. So it comes up a lot. We play One Allure. I was actually having trouble with a lot of consistency in this deck because I had a lot of just generic board breakers, and I just wanted to see a starter. So being able to see this and banishing things like Tragedy or Mercurial with this card just gets you extra value. It's just another way to dig, especially if you're siding in cards, you want to see the side deck cards, so being able to dig a little further is nice. I only play 1 because you don't ever want to banish things like Fallen of Albaz, because it just reduces your end game. We play a bunch of other 1-0s. Triple Tech, I played this at 1 because it's one of my crossout targets. It comes up a lot for me. It's really nice to have, and it really catches a lot of people off guard where you flip a crossout whenever they use Triple Tech to draw 2. So, you know, it's just really nice to have. Gold Sark, this is just another starter. I actually recently added this. I do see a lot of branded players playing this, and it does make sense. It's another way to get to things like your Albion from your deck, or just the Fallen of Albaz if you want to search that too. And I didn't come up a lot, but during the second standby phase you can add the monster that you banished. So that came up twice, but very rarely are you going that far in a matchup because not a lot of matchups last more than 4 turns. So you're either winning there or you're losing there. We have 1 Foolish Burial. This gets you access to your Aluber, which gets you access to your branded fusion, and there's some other hands where you can send Serenir and get a Retribution in the graveyard to add something that you already used from your graveyard to your hand. And same thing with Albion or a Mercurial if you want to banish it with the Bestial that you drew. Just a lot of, it just allows you to do a lot more than what you normally could do. Yeah. So it's a good starter. And the card that I've been using all day to let my branded fusion resolve, we got the 3 crossouts and the Called by the Grave. Ooh. I did play against 2 branded mirrors, so in those matchups, you know, the crossout was crazy. But in Snake Eyes, I did negate 1 Triple Tech, and for the other matchup, I just negated the Ash Blossoms. You know, Ash Blossom is like the only hand trap that really hurts this deck. Every other hand trap you usually can't play through unless your opponent draws like 4 hand traps and like full combo. It's, you know, they just deserve it at that point. Then for my crossout targets, besides Triple Tech, we have the 2 Ash Blossom and Infinite Permanence. These are the only hand traps I play in my deck. You never really want to see them because you only want them as crossout targets. I never hand trap Snake Eyes going second with an Ash Blossom because usually an Ash Blossom isn't enough to take care of the board. I just rely on my engine to take care of those cards. So there's that. And then the 3 branded trap cards. I play these 2 in the main. I know a lot of branded players are citing these. These cards catch a lot of people off guard game 1. If your opponent goes into Link Karibo in the Snake Eyes matchup, you can activate this, take care of the Link Karibo with one of your fusions that you summon from the graveyard or a Despia monster, and go for either a Masquerade or a Draco's Tapalia, which gets you to another disruption basically. So it's really good and stops the SP from coming out too early before you are ready to deal with it. The Brightest Blazing, it has a blanket negate effect, so this card's really good. It's come up a lot where, you know, my opponent has 2 cards already on the board that haven't used their effects, and then they use a 3rd card to get rid of something on my board, whether it's like maybe like a cosmic or a triple attack, if I already used a monster effect, then you can activate this on resolution. You choose a fusion that lists Fallen Valve as material, and it negates all the other current face-up cards on the field. So it came up a lot today. It was really good. I have only really cited this out going second for either back row removal or other cards that are better in the matchup. And then the Retribution, not much to say about this card. It just lets you recycle a lot of cards from your graveyard if you need them. And it did come up where I set this card and I was able to negate a special summon. Yeah, it helps you recycle a lot of cards from your extra deck, so it's really good.
Sick. What's the main deck count?
It's 40.
40? Oh my goodness, perfect 40 guy is.
Alright, for the extra deck, played 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Levilion, 2 Albion, Tidanclad, and Rinbrum. These are all the Fallen Valve as targets. This gets you to extra cards from your main deck. This blows up your opponent's board if they get rid of it. And this just helps your grind game. So those were really good ratios. I really enjoyed those. We have the Dust Dragon. I only play 1. My deck space is tight, so I only really ever go through 1. It helps you make really awkward hands playable. It's really good. It helps you extend further. We have the Masquerade, the Queritus, and the Lulu. These are all my Despia targets for either Super Poly or the Dust Dragon. So this will special summon it, non-target negates a card on the field if a card leaves the extra deck. It's just really good to have. I enjoyed it. And then we have Chimera. This came up a lot today too. Branded in Red is crazy with Lost on the board. So once this summons under Lost, they can't, chain anything to it. So their board is just getting cleared. It's really good. And then we have our Super Poly targets. We have 1 Dragostapelia, Garura, and Muddragon. All these come up in a lot of matchups. Usually you use your own monsters to summon Dragostapelia, or you use 1 dark your opponent controls. This is for the Snake Eyes matchup. Any of the smaller monsters in that matchup get cleared with this card, so they have to rely on other cards to extend. And Muddragon, just any matchup that has like same attribute, different types. It comes up a lot. And side deck, we play a huge side engine for Snake Eyes because that's probably one of the harder matchups since they have a lot of recursion and a lot of grind game. The Shaddoll window gets you access to your branded engine. You send Tragedy in either Area or Dragon, depending on what you want to clear. Gets you to Alubra. Alubra adds Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion sends the Winda and any other monster from your, or Winda and the Fallen Albaz from your deck, and you get Mirror Jade access. Apgalone, permanent negate whenever it's summoned, and you send 2 targets, spell and trap card, clear, and a 3 banishes from the graveyard. So it's just really good going second, and helps you play around triple attack in the Snake Eyes matchup. You don't want to get anything hit from your hand because you're trying to break a board, so you need as many cards as possible. And back row removal, we have 3 Evenly, 3 Cosmic, and 2 Lightning Storm. The main deck is already, the Despia engine's already good enough to deal with a lot of monster related boards. So the more help that you can get with back row is always helpful. So
Sweet. Well, hey man, congrats on top 4. Thanks for the profile. Until next time, everyone. Bortle out.